Credible information, TDN at the station, TDN Africa Media, for news and entertainment, TDN gets the latest, TDN Africa Media,
for this week of Salone Talk on TDN Africa Media. Coca, and unfortunately today, my co-host Theophilus Gbenda is unavoidably absent. He did on a very important engagement this morning. Apologies on his behalf. He will join me again on Monday for the show next week. But I get with me in the studio a very special guest. Now the Secretary General, the Financial Secretary, Financial Secretary of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists and also editor of Standard Times newspaper, Mohamed Konneh. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning and welcome, and thank you for having me.
Okay.
Credible information, TDN at the station, TDN Africa Media, for news and entertainment, TDN gets the latest, TDN Africa Media,
Well, I've just been reminded by Mr. Konneh is also the acting station manager of Star Radio and news editor, Standard Times newspaper, Financial Secretary, Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. Well, inside the program today, we want to look exclusively at the just concluded Slaj annual general meeting will take place in Konneh. And as always, we will bring you the headlines on the front page of the local tabloids. Some of the local tabloids are available now we care this morning. And I will start with the Calabash newspaper. On the front page of the Calabash newspaper, you get 4 accused persons sent on remand. This now for the September 11 riots. Africell presents brand new motorbike to petty trader. Deputy Minister of Information vows to fulfill duties amidst abuse. NP at Sierra Leone's steadfast commitment in prioritizing customer care is unparalleled. So from the Calabash newspaper, I will now move on to the Concord Times newspaper. On the front page of the Concord Times newspaper, it says IGR, that's Institute of Governance Reform. 87% of Sierra Leoneans say economy is bad. Slaj Embassy of Ireland unveiled gender equality policy for the media. So from the Concord Times newspaper, we go move on to the next paper, the Nature newspaper. The next paper is the Nature newspaper, and on the front page of the Nature newspaper, it says Crown Agent Board visits environments and the Nature newspaper on the front page say Crown Agent Board visits Environment and Climate Minister. We move on now to the Guardian newspaper. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, it says SLPP North America Women's Council set to host second annual conference. Cost of living killing the living. Sierra Leone is losing. From the Guardian newspaper now we take the Drone newspaper. And the Drone newspaper says Keketuma Sandy braves insulting phone caller. Senior economist encourages government to invest in entertainment industry. From the Drone newspaper you get GBBI newspaper. On the front page of the GBBI newspaper, you get the world gathers to hear President Bill's keynote address on protection of education from attack. Time tool, time 100 next, Chief Minister returns. And it also reports on the widespread blackout in Freetown. From the GBBI, we will take the Independent Observer newspaper. Independent Observer newspaper reports WASC and Becker results will be released this September. It quotes the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. And Deputy Chinese Ambassador reassured support to Chief Immigration Officer. In McKinney Magistrate remanded 6 unlawful protesters. From the Independent Observer, I think that's the final paper. Okay. That's not the final paper for today. So we go start the review of the front page. My special guest today, Mohamed Konneh, will help me with the review of the front page of the newspaper. We get the Calabash where the report say 43 accused persons sent on Panema Road. The September 11 protest, 43 already done sent accused person sent to on remand. And we may not say the police may disclose to we say they arrest over 70 people there. 72 people there. So the paper they report this morning say 43 accused sent on remand.
Well, basically, that's not the news where they across that people that were hold during the protests. The protests will happen on Monday and Tuesday. They arrest people. The first reports will be that police arrest over 70 people. I mean, precisely 72. And then 43 or 42 go appear court and then send them on remand. For me, we allow the due process for taking place without bias, without favor, because one of the things that we can always say during a period there, they can arrest anybody. I mean, maybe during the trial process and during the interrogation, they will now know from among them who were actually the protesters or who were actually innocent. Then the court can also grant them leave or discharge them. So basically, what we want to see, we want to see a due process on them people there, because in as much as they arrest them, say the protest was unlawful and they arrest people them, but the due process will continue. But also come back to what make they arrest them. For me, it's for quite a long time. I never see they give people the leverage for them protests, and also we don't say the protesters, the people that they call for the protests are faceless protesters. They call for they don't even know the people. So nobody don't ask the police for permission. But in a country whereby when people want for protests, when people want for demonstrate, and people want for protests against cost of living or fear go up or whatever, they don't want to grant people that permission. Then which will they see? So you will continue for saying, because if I go ask police for giving permits and police don't give me 110, 210, 310, and not still give me, at the end of the day, I go out. I don't even bother for ask for permission. Yes, we also as citizens we get with responsibility because that's the more reason why we get this department, the National Council for Civic Education and Democracy. We as citizens get with responsibility, but government also gets a responsibility towards we. And in a democratic state, the police for good by the rule of law, and the constitution guarantee we for do protests, peaceful protests, except if I gonna treat now, I begin pour property, I begin pour mortar, I begin stone, then the police can come in. And so also sometimes we also see with the police because if people they come forward and say one for protest because of ABC already around the country, and police for give you that protection there. And then it also demarcates who routes over worker for display and placard will get and display for sure. So we are dissatisfied with what they happen in the country as long as we are doing it lawfully. But because over the years, government go, and people they come out and ask one for protest because ABC and D they affect we, and police not for give that kind of leverage there. Then you left the people with no choice or for one at it, not even asking the police.
And now we make for understand that the LUC put local. Well, that not too clear, but we understand say they suspend them because they allow people to go ahead and protest and put local.
We still monitor that situation because this now we see on social media and that the LUC and put local has been suspended. But as journalists, we need to go further into that. We don't know whether he has been suspended or something. I will say other quarter they say the normal transfer and then do transfer from one place to the other. But which the next outside we don't know yet. So I think we as journalists still need to dig further into that. Yeah, I know say it can be difficult in that kind of situation. It can be difficult for no the truth, but we can still try for digging further. The man not died, and the LUC not died. Except if we for talk to journalists because even yesterday we tried to reach out to them, but it's like at some point in time the phone again not big, at some point another point the phone not being at all. So we for still continue to make effort for reach out to them for we know whether a normal transfer, a suspension or a dismissal, anyone among
yeah. But how independent or I would say how apolitical is the Sierra Leone police day?
In the context of your situation, when we talk about policing or whatever, all other situation, me like for look at the context. Me not like for look at because now we talk corruption there. People say corruption in America, but we have not gone to America and look at how the system they operate. We compare ourselves with America. Corruption everywhere. No, it's not about corruption everywhere. It's about corruption in Sierra Leone. That is what we are talking about. So if we are talking about the police, we talk about the Sierra Leone police and not police elsewhere. So in our own context, we always look at our own context, how we see them.
And I want for me to focus on the context in the event where somebody writes officially to them, say they want to protest, they want to do a protest. For that is police, not to all tell the police for always say things negatively. Say that they foresee, say going to be peaceful, you're going to be riot thoughts. As a professional force, you got a responsibility for also play a very key role.
Definitely. The thing is, in a democratic society, the rights of people for protest, not violent, but protest peacefully, and the right standing. That I have a right, if this is not a money, I have a right for tell government say this is money. Because sometimes the government say, I can think say maybe the government is not aware of the kind of thing the way they happen. One, if fear go up, No government officer no dey feel am o, because e no dey buy fear. The government officer no dey buy fear because in the buy fear, na cheat he gets for go take fear station because we are paying for it. So they feel that pinch there. But sometimes they need to understand citizens are feeling the pinch of waiting they happen. That and the more reason why they vent out, then they come out and protest. So you as government for now they in that position for listening to the plight of the people and do what you need for do so that you take away that kind of suffering we suffer. So in this week in real contest, yes, we don't say economic hardship day everywhere, but you have to look at the standard of living of Sierra Leoneans as compared to other people. For example, people in this country where they still pay as low as 600,000. 800,000, even in the bigger at €1 million, which is 1,000 euros. How can that take you? Because if you buy a bag of rice at 700 euros, at 700,000 euros, you are left with 300,000 euros. That day, some home in less than a week, that 300,000 is gone. There are homes a day say no, that 300 not even do for a day. Because looking at the kid away for school, put lunch and prepare breakfast for in the morning, and when I go for it, that 300,000 left is not enough. I know now they already get 600 or 800. So we therefore look at that context there, and that context will bring out to government, let government understand that kind of situation there, and people that also they compare standard of living to other country there. If I did America, maybe I earn $1,000 per month, or even $600 or $500 per month. It's huge for me, and as compared if even at the salon, let me say I get $1,000. That is 22.5 million or 23 million according to the exchange rate. So if I'm having 23 million euros for month, I mean, you will take care of me for some time. Not for the compare we and other countries where the economy is high up there and the standard of living is way up there.
Okay, but let me go back. Do you think that the police there's political interference inside the police, in the police where they mean that they before do their work without fear, especially we'll take into consideration that the vice president is the head of the police council.
This is the situation we don't do already, because this is a situation we'll get to. That and the more reason why I make the constitutional review will miss out. It's so key to all of it that happens so, because a number of things already happen so hinges on the constitution. Because the constitution will get 1991 constitution will get give the power, give exclusive executive power to the presidency. So he hires and fires at will at any time. And the constitution give the power to the vice president for as head of the police council. So we can't take that away. The law will tell you say the law is the law until it is changed. And so as long as the police supposed to be apolitical, but the head of the police is the vice president. They take orders from government. Whatever way you look at them, they take orders. And as long as you like support, then I'm in hand. You don't say today I can pull and come on hand. Whatever thing I tell you, you go by hand. Yeah. So even if government say we are not really give order to police, the police for acting independently, the police will act. But also thinking that I have my bosses, and not for acts various with putting me things I would feel say my boss in
so this not make the independence at all.
Yes. So even if they don't get directives, from vice president, because as Miss Lawyer, I don't get evidence saying they take directives from vice president or take directives from president. But what I know, the vice president is head of the police council, and as long as I'm the boss, I give directives. Yeah, and even I don't give directives, from now I'm acting as station manager. So I give directives to my workers as to what they want. Even when they do anything they do, it is at the back of the mind say, if I do anything in variance with my boss, then I have a problem. So that's the kind of situation I will put in police.
So now just do some quick clarification. Yes, one of the protests they will say that 11 and 12, but because you can say Monday and Tuesday, 11 and 12, but it may only effective on Monday. Everybody then house, then some partner the Eastern people will come out. Is it that we understand say people and they go and point out that people Now they happy again.
This now they talk the way they come now on social media that there are people who go and point people and say the one there and then inside the protest. For me, I can't verify that because it was rumored, it's on social media that people go and point. But for Christ's sake, we are all Sierra Leoneans. If things go wrong today in this country, we all they suffer. No one person. No. Even the elite class, they will still suffer. Even people that get money, because even if you run away, you have properties here.
Yeah.
One way or the other, one way or the other, you have families here who are left behind. They must return. So there's no way if person will vent out in anger on the things that they want. For me, I can always say the manner in which we vent out with anger, now it will be wrong. The manner in which we vent. Because frankly speaking, the way you go reach out to somebody, where it will make you palaver. There is the way we go reach somebody, we not go make you palaver. The same talk, the same kind of talk. I can't go there. Thing looked anger today for me today, but maybe I say you go for pay me, but that's small to for pay me. You don't try pay me now.
The manner, the approach.
Yeah. But if I can't today to you, I can't say Diana. To God today, I mean money today. I'm not saying all that time, no, but you pay me. I don't even know the mood will meet you. Then it will anger you, and it's possible we will make palaver. So the same way I talk, the same thing I talk to you, I talk in another manner, we will make palaver. So I can always say, if we are protesting, if we go out for protest, in as much as we all get right for protest, but sometimes destroy government property not correct. Because destroy boss, motka, or because some of the motka they will go destroy. Now, so then I will only get money and say that they get them back. They never pull a stone or taxi. Until that taxi there, we don't have that money. You know, get that. One go out, just one go out and eat for their survive for the day. There is no for the stop like kind of people. So in as much as we vent out with anger, we will also vent out with anger in a manner that will disturb the next person.
Okay. So the case falls in a magistrate court.
Definitely.
Okay. So I think we'll close with this, but we just hope that we
get a speedy and fair,
especially on the grounds that the government will give confidence to Sierra Leoneans to know about the
normal business.
Exactly. So on that context, they need to take into consideration that some people were going about their normal business. Okay. So also on the Calabash newspaper, we get the headline was the Deputy Minister of Immigration vows to fulfill duties amidst abuse.
Yeah, I listen to that clip there where Mercury, caller.
That's on Mercury for
AYV, DJ Bass, DJ Bass is true. I enjoy the things that but DJ Bass is Mercury, so I listen to the clip. The caller called, begin to thank you. I said the minister used abusive language. In the first place, here we don't get that kind of technology for deliveries. Because in other advanced countries, like the BBC, the Al Jazeera or whatever, that cost them ever come out. Because they get device there with the delay voice there. As long as they know it's an abusive language, then they come out. And so that are the danger, what we do call it the program. It's the danger.
I want to interrupt you a little bit. Say some stations supposed to get up because the BBC Media Action they actually don't support. Some stations. So I think the national broadcaster and one will benefit from that facility.
So is it then also for user also because I don't say because then technology and they whenever for something for user and installer, have they installed it? If they, because I know the BBC supports some few radio stations. I don't know the station, but the SLBC and the one station we benefit from that.
So this they call for media owners. Then when they invest, you have to take all that
definitely
for far too long.
Because now in the first place, you look at the IMC Act, then for find AYV. Because in the first place, they say when you do phone-in program, because phone-in program. It gets in downside, and the downside ain't happen so. And in the first place, before IMC started any investigation in the first place, they will find AYV first because for that because that's a breach.
And it's a shame on AYV with all the investments.
Yeah, definitely. So why a big station like that you get that kind of huge multi-million investment. You know, you invest on that small equipment where they delay voice. Because I'm not sure it's much costly as compared to that kind of investment. With
they even have a partnership with the BBC there.
It's something that you get for because the thing where they happen at SALONE, SALONE, we can wait for something to happen before we take measures. And for be so, we foresee and far. Look like in a mining, what we talk in mining, then they begin to underground mining. I think from the last time in next year, they begin to underground mining. And I tell you, up till this moment, what we done the ring and to the ministry, there is no law because in other countries they get separate law for underground mining based on the thing that will happen in Colombia. They get separate law on underground mining, but I have not seen a document in that direction as we speak. So we can wait first until things happen. One wait until that Colombia incident was by the TV cost per miner there. They did almost 3 weeks for poor people there before we put a law in place. So now the same thing. Maybe the radio station or the station that don't give that delay equipment, they still get them. They not install that. They want wait on now only now maybe with the problem they happen now only now maybe they want for install that. So we not for wait first until things happen because anything is possible under the sun.
So in as much as they meet their houses, they have a responsibility, for their own image, their own credibility, for give confidence to your guests. Because nobody knows how to go on that issue. Despite he's a public figure, we all know the situation is bad, people are angry. You get a limit.
Yes, you don't get no right for cost the man in my man.
Exactly.
Because
that's how far you can go.
It's performing a public.
What did the poor man do you? You know go cause if you want cause him. When you went to the extent to abuse his mother, it's very bad. It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. For me, when I was shocked when I listened to that clip there, and yesterday what did IMC gets a training for community radio stations and still cancel a one day training for community radio stations, and they look at governance, look at digitalization, look at ethics, look at ethical. So this same thing come on, and the deputy minister did they make that statement. They said we say. It's not say yes, they cost him money, say, but that no point in time will put them down for doing work. So basically, the public we also get a responsibility. In as much as we angry with the people, I can always say sometimes government can be bad, but some of the things that already happen. No government they will want for see the things that they go wrong no more in country. There is no government we want for see fear they go up every now and then. Glad is a fear they go up every now and then. Sometimes they don't get the solution or they don't sabi how for solve neither the challenge. But there is no government we want for the things they go bad in country. So that don't mean for the cost the people.
The worst you can do. For cost somebody, mama, openly, publicly. You can't do that. And as much, but again. We leaders, they also they're for the life and the public. Because they make people angry. Even though they're not getting no right, they call it not getting no right. But, I don't know. We just hope that situation will not happen again. Not only AYB, but any other media.
I'm not saying if this for tell IMC now, for do the work.
For implement whatever they did.
Because they did the law.
So you begin by finding them. Let them pay some amount.
Fine, even before they investigate. Whether
it won't happen. They're not going to do them. I haven't seen them do them.
Don't say so.
I want them to prove me wrong. Let them prove me wrong.
So let's wait and see.
Let them prove me wrong.
Let's wait and see whether IMC will find them and go do the investigation because then
they get to be their house. They will do and they will find them. By the next day they don't find it.
I see Justice FM do similar thing and they find them.
It takes some time.
No,
it takes some time.
I just say
it takes some time.
We don't.
There's so many complaints against that station.
No, I don't go now. Me and the one person they represent the executive. I don't go IMC about 3 times on this same Justice FM, and at every occasion they were being fined. It's just that what do they say? The money small when we find them. The first go they find them 1.5. Right in front of them, they put the money in the pay. and we say million, I would say
Yes.
that 1.5 Iboku.
Let me tell you, they will do 1.5 million and pay, but they won't pay their staff. The staff that they go without salary.
That another discussion.
They have their agenda.
Another discussion. So basically, we the journalists, what they say again, define Iboku. Where the last time it was 1,000, we say Iboku, we say a plenty. And come over 5 million, we say plenty. So we go review that document, we say they put it to 1.5. So now we the very journalists then. So when
media poverty.
Yeah. So when I find those FM, I tell you, I was there, right there, that they pay. They pay. And I don't know they treat and they find them and they pay. They don't even think concept and they pay. So basically, but we're supposed to be responsibly as media people then, because for them to find you every now and then, I mean, you not tell well.
Okay.
So I hope that the IMC in that meeting yesterday, they say they will investigate, and in the first investigation, they will do within the law say first. So the very thing where the law say first, and for fine AYB.
Okay, we'll just make one more headlines, then we'll move now to the review of the Slaj AGM. This is very important. The Institute of Governance Reform, according to the Concord Times, this is 87% of Sierra Leoneans say economy is bad. And the IGR, I mean, remember before the election, we do two reports. One where they talk about the rates the president, the performance of the president. They're very close to election. They say the president will win by 53%. Was it 53%? So man can really doubt this the figures they already give. Usually follow them. You now one expert in but in financial matters.
Basically, you see, survey. I can always say survey is not the best. It's not the best thing for rate certain things. Basically, based on the size where they take. There are certain surveys where they take. There are certain surveys where they do, because IGR is perception. It's perception, depending on who they talk to. But when you do survey, when you do scientific survey, then you need to like by you, because it is proven by result. But perception survey, it based on who I talk to. Because let's say you sample 10 hosts in this St. John area. Let's say 10 hosts. And among the 10 hosts we want sample, you might already fix as a 10 hosts there. Because Salone has small come to you. If I talk about let's say Mama's office there, they also already if I look at say party people and this party and this party, I already get on my head. So if I want to do a survey on looking at whose party will win, whose party will do this, whose party will do this. If I really want to do a buyer survey, I want to do a buyer survey, not a fair survey. I want to do. I already know the selection of hosts they want to go. So another thing that's what IGR do. That's what I say. But it's a perception survey, and people in the talk to. So people are dynamic. Today I can't talk to you. You tell me say
the next
thing a different thing you will tell me. So I don't want grapple with a survey. It's a perception survey, which is not scientific.
Okay.
Because if a scientific survey then they do, then I can challenge. And even the sample size, 1,000. The sample size are 1,000. Inside 1,000, well say the 1,000. It's possible that I do a fair survey. I talk to 1,000 people. It is possible to say that day when I talk to the 1,000 people, among the 1,000 people, there are 800 I talk to, they're all on one side indeed. It is possible. It is possible in that sense. It's possible to say they all will give me one. Now one day is all they will give me. So perception survey, for me, it's not only the best of survey. When we begin to do scientific surveys, then we get clear results.
Okay.
So
maybe look at the cost involved.
Yes. So I'm not again another perception survey. Now in parliament, just say in parliament or councils. Because we say at one time until we do survey on council. We go look at the council the book. For look how much this councillor can a council. With them continue. We also get them get a council meeting, and we also look at the minutes. How much this councillor talk at this meeting. they do the same parliament. India, very, very good kind of way and they look at the parliament, they look at the council, they know each and every contribution, and then the dates of this 10 when it's supposed to talk, and what he talk, they get all, and they record all. So every year, when they pull up perception, when they pull us over there, then they make even some parliamentarian, the party against based on the thing they do. Even the developmental activity, the way the councils and they take, and the various communities, then they get all of landing because they are record to that. But when they're doing kinds of at one point we start for doing kinds of we start with the council, and when we present that when we present that report to council, that report now because they be saying it was supported by Christian and that report will go public because there was so many threats on the coordinator that that report will make a public this that and will block where will they get funding or whatever. But today the Gambia Council is one of the best council and they raise money now because at that time they raise Gambia Council every year they get something like 400 million for the whole council and then together. But can we do a survey and realize council is getting more than that. Let me tell you, just last year, the Gambia Council collected over 2 billion loans from 400 million. From 400
you know, they look at
you understand? But these are something we don't put out. Just because there are people, who are benefiting.
Exactly.
So let me say, when you do real scientific survey, you need to lie by you. We count the amount of shop them, how much each shop they pay to the council, the money when they pay to council them, and we put on together. We resolve be going to be around 4 billion. But now that gradually they go, last year they collect over 2 billion. So gradually they move towards that.
Okay. Well, so we'll end these headlines on the front page of the newspaper. I will now go into the discussion. When we get there for 10 and 10, we will take 10 for review the papers there with me. And I remind you again, this is SALONE Talk on TDN Africa Media. Me and Diana Coker and the guest now, Mohamed Konneh, the financial secretary for the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. He's the news editor, Standard Times newspaper, and is acting station manager of Star Radio. Mr. Konneh, the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists last week was in Konneh for the annual meeting of journalists. Unfortunately, I was not there.
You missed out.
Yes, I missed out, but I think I get a feeling. I saw photos, and yes, I know. It's always a fun to be in that gathering.
Definitely.
You go socialize, you updates, something happen within affiliate body them. How we can improve we as journalists then. So tell me more what thing really happy the one them, especially with viewers them, know waiting may happen at the AGM.
This year AGM happened on the 8th and the 9th. We have 2 days. Before now, 3 days we get to the AGM for. It's on a Thursday, Friday we get an opening, Saturday, second day we can get we annual dinner and awards night, and Sunday we return. But this year it not happen, so because cost implications or whatsoever. We get the very first day will be a half day. We start at 4, but we are there till almost 7 o'clock for scatter. And the second day will be Saturday, will be the 9th, and we get the official opening. And this year we assembled almost 150 journalists and they attend the AGM this year at Konneh. And it was good.
Is it a good number?
Yeah, previous years they would only get 300, 400. 1 year they will get up to 500. The last one will be election. In Makini will get up to more than 500. It's not a very good number, but besides it was good. The AGM was good. And during this AGM, it was fantastic. For the very first time, all reports of affiliate body will not share on the mail and the forum then before we go. Because first time and I will at the AGM, I will share a report them. But this time around, the report they don't go even before the AGM starts. So people don't get time for look at them. I make the final say we take long time for the debate because people don't read the report them before even going to that.
Just an idea the amount of affiliate body presently.
Yeah, get the Sierra Leone Sports Writers Association, that is SWASA. We get the SLRU, Reporters Union. We get WIMSAL. We get court reporters. We get the press gallery. We go. The Parliament, the press gallery. We go. This then 5 bodies. We also get the emissaries. Then one
the numbers go up.
Yeah.
The affiliate body. I know there were so many.
Yeah. We also get few we not still be.
No, there are some were not effective.
We're not effective. No, at the time there are resolutions that we take, and even Guild of Editors all related. So I will talk about some of the resolutions then, because there are affiliate bodies then we since they conduct elections, so we take a resolution then. Like SLRU, now one of the bodies then will take a resolution that in the next 3 months they will conduct election, and they don't give Slaj the mandate for request for the updated list of the delegates them and the constitution. So they don't. And SWASA said go, but then SWASA sent a report, but no one nominated for represent them. None among the executives.
President was not there.
No go. So we also take resolution on them. They don't already send a letter of apology. They apologize. Yeah. So all of that. And one of the resolutions we they want to take against them that the subvention where they not forget part of that subvention there. But other people will plead on them behalf that no. Even the subvention and first they don't take Slaj, meaning the body will conduct election. But now they said only part of the body now for the part of the subvention based on the budget. Because they conduct election.
So the good news that each affiliate body they benefit from the subvention.
From the subvention, yes, yeah. They're only part of the budget. We will do for support them. Yeah. That and more is why we need for the way by the AGM, because you need for the way budget, etc.
You will get the Association of Journalists and Mining.
Yes.
We don't become
government. And
we get the Economic Journalists Association.
Let me say this.
All these associations are there.
In the AGM, then questions that come up. What's wrong with the other affiliate bodies then? And there were no explanation. There were no explanation. Just excuse. So basically, moving forward, I think the affiliate body, especially the specialized body, the Association of Journalists for Mining and Extractive. This is a specialized body where we look at mining and mining communities. Then we need for very well. The economic journalists also don't revive because they don't invite me on a meeting. I don't want a meeting there.
How come I was not part of that meeting?
Well, and the one that we
God, and I am the signatory to the account.
Yeah. So the budget advocacy network they try for give a support so that that body they will rise again. So then we give tax to some other people for look at for do normal registration. For do a registration, so we look at corporate affairs for do a registration. I think they don't put. I will therefore go back to them and see how far they don't put on certain documents together. So basically, these are the issues then. And on that particular day, and for the very first time in Slaj the ACC reviewed the Slaj executive, and there was a report to them put out what the ACC put out. Yes, for the very first time, we call them ACC for them can do systems and review. We let us scrutinize, we let us see who side we get challenges, so we get loopholes so that we look at research and try for those the things that we record. Because now we get donor money. And because we get donor money, one let ACC come and look at the systems if there's any loophole. And one of the transparency with it. And one of the interesting things takes us almost 30 minutes for arguing. When the ACC puts in that report, they say anybody will go for this large executive position before declare assets. and it gets overwhelming
I will not support that.
Those some of we get reservation.
Exactly.
We are not being paid.
Exactly.
But the membership thinks for declare we assets.
No.
We say
I think that is wrong. That was wrong.
Yeah. And a good number.
And SEC, I don't know why SEC for bringing that kind of Slaj executive.
They say because they receive money. They receive subvention from government. We receive subvention. So for declare,
I hope you don't declare your assets. So let us say before you go into the executive,
moving forward,
you don't work on a different institution.
Moving forward. If we get for contest election next
year,
yes, I mean whatever I get, I will put your force in, and this now I get before even the kind of slide I don't get. Yeah. So for let be clear. So and also this time around also we launched with gender policy. The gender policy, I know say you be part of the consultation, the validation, and the gender policy. And now one of the things we come out from that gender policy is that we forget a committee, we for look at that policy, and we go for all that policy there.
Okay.
We possibly we go for go across the country again if we get funding for all that policy there out. And one of the things we come back in that media house for sign an MOU on agenda that will implement gender policy. For example, we look at media houses when it comes to recruitment, we never even understand how recruitment take place. When it comes to promotion, sometimes we don't even understand. It's about you kind of office today and say this person make news editor or this that. We never know on which basis. Yeah, and if somebody they go leave, let's say a woman they go maternity leave, you don't want to go maternity leave. Whose policy will be in media house? No day. And day. So
because if we look at the media houses, they're run by individuals.
Yes, day.
They're not getting proper administration structure.
So even in terms of financial
and you see a difficult for you dictate to the
owner. So that policy we send on Bournemouth University because Bournemouth they support Slaj on a number of projects where they support Slaj. But unfortunately, that money where Bournemouth be sent, that money is still there because they go on for the journalists they apply for those starting story there or whatever. Now only 2 people be applying no more. So that it
depends how make people see.
Yeah. So one of the things that we would advise that we need to go back to Bournemouth because Bournemouth said the money is still there. For look at other things that we are for do. So the money because the money they come to we where the journalists apply, Bournemouth look at the application and from that now. But they didn't send the money direct to them. They will send the money to Slaj because Slaj has a responsibility for make sure that the journalists do them because Bournemouth not there. And so if they send the money can to Slaj because we now go monitor and supervise the journalists now for doing the story then. So if anything happens to we will send the money, but the journalists will apply and Bournemouth look at that. So Bournemouth will look at that policy there and then say fine tune now. We got a gender advisor at the Irish embassy because then also they support that process then. Gender advisor, so they said give an input where we don't get that policy there. So now policy will go for rollout because if one of the things we come out, I show you now one of the meetings where the SMBC they say when they want for the guests, you don't need a working place, but you get for all week news. Even
there's no place
yes,
to go.
you don't get no place for change. You get for change your clothes, outside you the man and day, the woman and day. And you get some woman even company when all the company woman see naked body. Yeah, so all of them they did the policy. So it's a policy we own them and we hold them out. But then it was good because the owners of newspapers and the radio stations were there, and editors we did it, and they all buy into that. Most people they did it. Theo Hardings them, Asma James, they own radio station now. They were all there. Yema Thompson, but the Willets, the mass communication, Isaac Masako, the woman of fun, they were all there. So and they all buy into that. But I can always say implementation of their policy. We all look at the policy, say the policy good, it's fine, but then the implementation of it. So we all go for because media houses in this country they are owned by individuals. That's not the big challenge people they get. So basically, I think it's a policy that we therefore roll out and make sure that we own them so that it will work for. Because if you work for we, How they relate, the aspect of sexual harassment all come up in the policy. What thing will do if they harass somebody sexually? Because most time when they harass a colleague, them they don't get mind for talk because they think if you talk, they will sack her. Because if you boss harass her, and I did defend the life bills. Sometimes the colleague they suffer in silence. Even if they harass her, it will just be an excuse commodity. So basically, that was the policy we launched, and we get to social gathering. This time around, cow and 2 goats. And we did for the social evening. And I say, and just like the normal, where they hosting, they host some people, they kind of kapu, where they kaput, that was fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah. They did, I don't know how journalists did, because before even the social evening start, they will host some of the roast beef there and pack it. So, but guess what? The journalists will do all within the fire and they will. They say I'm hot. Imagine, can you imagine that? So it was fun. So we don't return back. And this year we removed the black tie dinner and the awards. And the awards go for me in November. So that and the difference will happen this time around. And it was lovely. It was lovely.
Okay. So any reason why you decided for take the awards to November?
Yeah, we want to use the awards now for raise fund. Yeah, because first time the money we get for the AGM, actually we use for the awards. Sometimes after the awards, it takes almost a month or 2 before we pay people that will win awards. But we want now this time around, the moment you win your award, that day when you collect your award, you collect your check. Or the thing when you win, you collect them. So now, so one will do the award now. And one use them for raise fund, and one for make it differently. Yeah, so now we separate this time on. And we also be getting to this AGM difficulty. We know say forget finances will be difficult. The usual people like support we ups and downs we talk to they never even give 1 sentence.
The usual people, who are they?
No, when this
Who are they?
This not supporting the support with good people that we don't use for support.
I see a list where
we get a list what we say now. We get
about 92 million
yeah.
I'm able for it. Now that's not what I'm able to get.
I know more ways. And look at the hotels from outside the AGM take place. And if you look at the bill, it's over $1 million because that holiday we used to the charge for that holiday $1,000. That holiday we used to.
20 million.
Yeah, 22.5. And for that holiday. And the charge one. And then the rooms there, each of the rooms there, $600 for
night?
For that per night. I mean $60. Why is it $600? $60 per night.
That's what I say $600.
$60 per night. You get some of the rooms that are $100 per night. So we negotiate. And we come down small. We get.
So you're not able to accommodate everybody.
No, they don't get plenty room. I would say like 30 rooms. They get 25 rooms. We will take the 25 rooms based on the price we negotiate. But we lot of people in various other hotels. I mean, Albert himself they own a fine hotel, or our hotel there, which is fine. And I know you ever know there was this Ericsson hotel, which is another fantastic hotel in Kenya. Only this go we realize there is a hotel by the name of Ericsson, which is also fantastic.
But we get Slaj members that we always partner with you.
Yeah, yes,
information.
No, me not be ever know. This time we'll go and suggest say there's Ericsson we get a fantastic because David identify the various hotels and the regional executive, and then take we around go to the various hotels there and we look at them and negotiate for them. So that was it.
So Konneh, when what's the next one would be?
The next one for be free time.
Okay.
But advice on the camp that because we forget election in 2025, we'll get to next AGM in Bo, we will do election and free time. Which is we will be in 2025.
Why are you the one for doing election and free time?
Well, for obvious reasons, the membership, the people, that was a discussion.
Oh, okay.
We happened.
Because the last election at Makeni,
the last
we went there and we voted.
Yeah. you know, say the next election, that leadership they change. Monk is not contesting any longer, so we get a new possible new face that we can.
Are you going for the president? Not to tell for this
So basically, the membership they look and say not to the executive. Remember, I say I talk and deliberate. The membership they think say it has to be a tense election, so let's have it in free time.
So for able control,
So that's the thinking. Although we don't get heated election upline, because remember Kelvin second time election in Stanley, it was a heated election, where even they accused politicians of meddling into that elections. They started they give money, you know. But why you for allow politicians for you money? For go vote for other things? They have no business. To choose who you want. But one thing I always say, Slaj will always stand to the test of time. That even when politicians they influence elections, our election has never been influenced. By the politicians, and it has been a disappointment for the politicians.
Yes.
Yeah. So
this is a lesson for them. So don't interfere into our business. You have no business.
Because these are like-minded people.
Exactly.
They know what's good for
they go vote for it. What's one thing say?
What's good for we?
Go make changes. Go do things that will improve journalists' their life. You know.
So basically, that is that. So I make so next AGM, the advice was that we don't forget general meeting. We will discuss, and because the Slaj is guided by constitution, and because it's guided by constitution, we therefore come back in general meeting. In a general meeting, and we will determine, because the AGM is rotational. By rights, the next AGM should be free time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we don't do justice today. We don't make you know exactly what happened in Konneh, how journalists what they go discuss there, you know, and a lot more in the front pages of the newspaper. So it's Friday, thank God it's Friday, and I wish you a very happy weekend. Enjoy yourself, stay safe. And we go there again on Monday. Thank you to my guest, Mohamed Konneh. Mohamed Konneh, the financial secretary of Slaj. Now they keep this large money for me. They protect with boss. He's also news editor of Standard Times newspaper and acting station manager of Star Radio. If you don't know, you will not know Star Radio. It's how I call them? Media One Center. It comprises of
Standard Times, Star TV, and Star Radio.
Yes. So thank you to you for taking time for joining me inside the program today. Okay. Then we will meet again on next week on Monday, God willing. Till then, have a blessed day.